Hello and welcome back to my channel. It has been another hot minute, but here I am again. I'm alive, guys. Thank you. So, this video is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and also something that I've seen on a lot of other channels with girls revamping their wardrobes, especially for the upcoming season. And since it is almost fall, and yes, if you've seen some of my content on Instagram, you know that I have been planning my fall 2021 wardrobe since the beginning of August, maybe even July, but we won't go there. So I get a lot of questions from people asking like, what is your personal style? Where do you get your style inspiration from? And honestly, I really don't have an answer. I don't know what my style is, but I do think that I'm learning sort of more and more how I want to describe my style, and specifically the kind of look, the vision that I'm going for. I really want this video to be sort of half helpful, informative, and half sort of venturing with me into discovering my personal style, seeing the new pieces that I'm collecting for fall 2021. Alright, so let's just get into it. I'm such a nerd. I'm sorry. The issue on the table.
Get your education, don't forget from whence you came, and the world's gonna know your name. What's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton.
Is that I spend too much money on trends and not enough on pieces that I will actually wear on a regular basis and will be a key part of my wardrobe for as long as possible. So in my moving back to Korea video, I talked about how much I've actually been spending on buying little things, buying trendy things that don't really play a key part in my wardrobe. They're just kind of things that looked good without really knowing what place they had in my wardrobe or in my personal style. So there are a lot of things, even things I bought from this most recent season, where it wasn't really the look for me. So in order to know what to keep, my first step was to evaluate. Most of our shopping habits and our style influences come from other people. What we like on other people, even what we see on websites, those are still on models. And with a lot of the marketing tactics, you can really be influenced by the concept of the image, the way it's presented, or the person who's wearing it, rather than really being able to picture it on how it'll look on you. This whole trap is how I ended up buying so many things that don't really look good on me or don't really fit me or my, I don't really want to say aesthetic, because I feel like aesthetic seems a little more transient, more fleeting, whereas I really want to develop a personal style and a look. Although I do want to note here, I do think it's appropriate to change your style a little bit depending on the season. And I don't mean like fashion seasons, I'm talking about seasons throughout the year. But if you're really trying to develop a distinct style, then you want something to be cohesive. And that's something that I struggled with for a really long time because I was trying to follow a lot of trends that I saw instead of staying true to sort of what suited me. As I evaluate and assess all of my pieces in my wardrobe, I ask myself these specific questions. And of course, as the English major in me, I had to come up with 3 V's. The 3 V's. They are, get ready for this, value, versatility, and vision. Value. First, anything that you buy for your closet, your dream closet, should not only contribute to that look, but you should really love the piece individually as itself. So you're trying to find a balance between just personal draw to the item as well as versatility. Now the versatility is of course tied to the value. You really want to think about the quality versus the price, and if this is something that you're gonna wear on a regular basis, how much you want to invest into it. And this really depends on how many seasons this piece can go across. A rule that I've always kept while shopping is I don't like to buy any pieces that only work for one season. For example, I don't really buy a lot of booty shorts, like short shorts. On the other end of the spectrum, I don't buy things like fur. Not only have I felt like they're not really part of my style, but also I realized I don't like buying clothes that I can only wear for just a couple of months. I really love to buy clothes that are versatile enough to wear across multiple seasons because I really want to explore and learn more about layering pieces. I really do think layering is the key to maximizing your wardrobe. That is also another reason that I'm very careful when it comes to dresses. Dresses are something that, depending on the silhouette and the fit, you really can't layer it unless it's like a very short short kind of slip dress that can be tucked into a lot of different things. Obviously, the perk of buying a dress is that it's like buying an outfit of its own, but that's also kind of the downside for me. Again, layering, because I really want to learn how to layer. For dresses, I really have to love the item enough to wear on its own, and I have to think about, is this gonna go well under a jacket? Is it short enough to tuck into like a skirt? Color. I have found that I have a bias towards certain colors. If you've seen my Instagram, you probably know what colors those are. I know that I am biased towards these colors, but it's only really because I like seeing the color. It doesn't necessarily mean that I like the item on me or that that color always works for me. So now I have to really sort of step back and look at the piece itself and say, do I like more than the color? Do I like the silhouette? Do I like the shape? Do I like the fit? And there are many items in my closet of this color that I definitely wouldn't have bought if it was not in that color. Which is why for this season, I'm really trying to have a very specific color palette. This sage green slash turquoise, red slash burnt orange, white, and black. Now, black is definitely something that is new for my closet because I do not wear black, like, ever. But because I've been trying to sort of break out of this mold slash shell of these light little pastel peachy colors and warm tones and branch out more into things like greens, cooler tones, jewel tones, earth tones, I am opening myself to black, very specific forms. I don't think I'm ever gonna wear just straight up black, but this season I am trying out items that are black and white. I really like the black and white combo. I think it always looks very classy and clean, but it can also have like a romantic vintage look. A lot of color block or patterns in black and white I will be trying out this fall. This is how I've been actually curating my fall 2021 wardrobe, by saving images onto my phone and making an album and creating a mood board of all the items that I can picture together. For my fall 2021 wardrobe, I decided to emphasize outerwear and jackets. As the weather gets colder, your outerwear will be what makes most of the statement of your outfit. There are two jackets that I purchased for this season that will be sort of the iconic slash staples of the season, and in terms of color palette and silhouette, I'm going to try and build off of these two main items. The first one is this collarless tweed jacket in this gorgeous orange-red brick color. The color is a little darker in person, but I immediately gravitated towards this. Collarless jackets is not really something that I was into before, but now that I think about it, it does seem a lot easier to layer with other collared tops, which I kind of own a lot of. And then just the color and the details itself. Details, I think, are definitely something that I want to focus on more, especially things like hardware, buttons, zippers. And the same thing goes for my second jacket. This lovely creamsicle kind of peachy orange color that is quite bright but not too bright. It like borders on neon, but it's like a muted neon. I immediately love the color and the design. You can see more in the details here that these buttons are also a really nice touch. Now, as for accessories, I've noticed that white is a universal color that works for pretty much all the pieces in my wardrobe. Not off-white, not beige, just to be clear. I like to be very precise with my colors. For example, this scarf, a sort of wool-silk blend. It's a great transitional piece just because it's light enough to still wear when it's kind of warm outside, but it is still a scarf, so you don't really want to wear it when it's too hot. And then this houndstooth hat. I've tried a lot of berets in the past, as you probably have seen, but I really wanted one that was sort of gonna be, again, iconic, classic, can go with pretty much everything that I have. And then as for shoes, I have been searching for white knee-high boots for a very long time now. It's just been very hard to find the specific style that I want. I talked about this a little bit in my previous video. If something's not really in trend here in Korea, it's almost impossible to find. And so I had to scour the internet to find these, but finally I did. These boots kind of remind me of, if you watch The Devil Wears Prada, when Anne Hathaway's character, when Andy walks into the office wearing her full-on Chanel outfit for the first time, wearing what Emily Blunt calls these Chanel boots. These kind of remind me of that just because of the chain detailing and the gold finish on the heel. The heel is shorter and a little chunkier than I wanted, and I think the shaft is a little narrower. I'm really hoping that these fit well, but I do think that with the rest of my fall-winter wardrobe theme, these will be the best option. We shall see, and I will maybe show you guys these in person when they do come. I do think that if I were like very wealthy, Chanel would be my go-to brand. There is a timeless elegance to it. And so this bag, this quilted crossbody ivory bag, is obviously a Chanel dupe. There is a pearl detail to this chain that I actually really like, and that's the only reason I chose this one, because I've had this sort of quilted Chanel dupe before and they're all pretty basic. The pearls is sort of what I'm trying to incorporate more into my wardrobe. So a couple of other basics from my fall wardrobe that I already own from previous seasons that I wanted to share with you guys. These two scarves. This is the one that I mentioned earlier, and this actually I've had quite for a while, and it's actually been very handy to me. Recently, I'm just finding myself reaching for it more often. This pattern and this sort of neutral color is very classic, and it really works with my more neutral wardrobe as well as sort of the earth tones. I have two main purses that I'll be carrying around for the fall. There's this Helene Paris bag. I really love this bag. It's just been a very classic go-to mini bag that carries all my essentials. The color, again, is a neutral. It doesn't really work as well with some of my other pieces just because it's a little bit on the darker end, but I do think that this is just a key piece. It's really gorgeous on its own, and it is real leather, so the quality will be quite long-lasting. The other bag, this Coach bag, which it was actually took me a very long time to find because I wanted this specific look. It's the Willis satchel. It's like a very vintage retro-esque satchel bag from Coach that was sold out in this color and in most colors that I wanted, but I really love the color blocking on this, and because it is sort of a rare item, I do think that it adds a more unique touch to my wardrobe, and it is sort of in the warmer color scheme, which works well with a lot of my fall pieces, and it's quite spacious on the inside, you can see. So this is definitely more of a medium-sized bag for when I need to carry more than my essentials. So moving on to the clothing pieces. This blouse is a very basic button-up 100% silk blouse from Zara that I got on sale for a very good price. I mentioned this in a couple other videos. I've seen it around quite a bit, and that's because this has become a summer essential as well as something I think I'll be wearing into the fall season. So another transitional piece that's really great because it's so sheer and light, simple enough to basically pair with anything. And then this sweater vest is kind of another symbolic piece for me because of the color. Like, this color is very me, something that a lot of people will comment on, I think. And honestly, for a staple, I think this was pretty affordable, so I'm planning on using it to layer with a lot of other fall colors. And then I would probably pair that with these pants, which are from Aritzia. They are from, I think, last winter or a couple winters ago. And again, these are very classic check pattern pants that will be in style for a very long time, are kind of timeless and classic. So this will probably be one look that I can definitely sport this winter. This blazer has been a closet staple and favorite of mine. You have seen this everywhere. It's just a classic check pattern blazer. What I love about this is actually the color detail. It's kind of, might be hard to see, but it's actually this sort of purple and yellow and brown mix that honestly wasn't very easy to find. It's from Bershka, like 2018 or 2019. And with plaid or check patterns, I really do think that the color combinations are crucial, and it can get especially brought out by the other pieces that you style it with. So I really like the color combination on this, and I just think this is a tried and true classic that I will be wearing for many, many seasons and more. And then these two are skirts/skirts that I got from Zara. They were both quite affordable for their quality. So this is just like a dark navy pinstriped skirt. It's actually a wool material, so it's a little bit thicker than the average like pleated skirt. And then this is a tweed skirt. So it's like shorts on the back with these cute little buttons. Not very little actually. Quite large buttons. Again, like I said, the details are important, and I do also really like the color combo on this plaid pattern. This will definitely be paired more with the lighter pastel/neutrals, I believe, or maybe even like with a pop of bright color. This will be sort of more my darker looks, like my black and white or more neutrals that I am trying to go for. And this is actually another new item. This is a vintage piece from a Korean vintage store, and actually there's a lot of new Instagram vintage shops popping up in Korea as well as in-store ones. There's even a Goodwill. If you need vintage clothes in Korea, I got you. I am actually going to this vintage pop-up store this Saturday. I actually had to buy a ticket for it. It was like very exclusive, I guess. I just really wanted to try it because it wasn't an experience I've tried before. But also, I saw this really cute piece that they featured on their Instagram, and I really wanted to get my hands on it because it is very me. So this is definitely more like a look that I feel like is a symbolic piece. To me, a symbolic piece is a piece that just screams you. People have said this a lot about pieces that I have, like puff sleeve, cutesy peach pieces like my peach blouse. So if someone says, oh, that item is so you, that is probably a symbolic piece. This is kind of one of those things. I don't actually know how often I'll wear it or what I could pair it with. I still have to sort of think about that. The advantage and the disadvantage is that it could be sold out because it is a one-of-a-kind piece, but I may be able to find something else. When it comes to fashion and life, the unexpected is something that I am learning more and more to enjoy and to appreciate. I will document my adventure to this pop-up store, of course, and I will create a short little vlog about it because it is near Hongdae, so I'll probably make a stop to some nice cafe and show you guys some of the area. But yeah, I think that is everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was both helpful and inspiring for you. I will see you at the pop-up store. Bye.